This is the story of a man named Jack, a man who almost walked away from everything. He had reached the edge of his endurance. The world around him felt cold, his heart heavier than his footsteps on the road. Every dream had faded, every prayer seemed unanswered. He told himself he was done. Done with trying, done with believing, done with caring. The evening was silent as he walked toward his car, the last light of day sinking behind the clouds. He felt that strange emptiness when the soul no longer fights. But as he started the engine and drove away, something, or someone, stopped him. Through the blur of streetlights, he heard a small, trembling voice call out, "Please don't leave my mom." He froze. The words cut through the noise of his thoughts like a whisper from heaven. He looked up and saw a child, standing in the doorway of a small worn house, eyes wide with fear and hope. In that instant, time slowed. Something deep within him stirred, something he thought he'd lost long ago. He stepped out of the car and walked back, unsure why, only knowing he couldn't keep driving. That moment became the turning point of his life. He met the boy's mother, tired, kind, carrying more weight than her shoulders should bear. There was nothing extraordinary about her life, yet there was grace in the way she smiled despite the struggle. Jack offered to help, small things at first, groceries, fixing a leaky tap, sharing laughter over simple meals. Days turned into weeks, and somehow the house that once felt foreign began to feel like home. He noticed how the child's laughter filled the air with a joy he'd forgotten existed. Each giggle, each smile, melted a layer of the wall around his heart. But still, late at night, when silence returned, his old demons whispered, "You don't belong here. You're not enough." Jack wrestled with himself. His greatest battle wasn't against the world, it was against the voice of doubt inside him. The temptation to walk away again never fully disappeared. But something about that little boy's words, "Please don't leave my mom," kept echoing in his chest. It wasn't just a plea, it was a message. A call to stay, to heal, to believe again. He started to realize that God speaks not only through miracles, but through small, ordinary moments, a child's voice, a quiet sunrise, a shared meal. And as he began to stay, really stay, he discovered what he had been running from all along, himself. There were nights when the mother would cry softly, thinking no one heard. Jack would sit in silence, wanting to offer comfort but afraid his words would break her further. Yet her quiet strength taught him something sacred, that brokenness isn't the end, it's the doorway to grace. One morning, as dawn broke through the curtains, Jack found himself praying, not the kind of prayer that begs for things, but the kind that listens. He sat still and felt peace stir gently inside. For the first time in years, he wasn't asking God to change the world, he was asking for the courage to stay within it. As days passed, the connection deepened. Jack became more than a helper, he became part of their small, fragile family. The child began to wait by the window for him, running into his arms when he arrived. The mother, once cautious, began to smile more freely, her eyes soft with trust. Jack realized then that love doesn't announce itself, it grows quietly, like dawn breaking through clouds. Through their presence, he learned that peace is not found in escape but in surrender. In giving, not getting. In being still, not running. Then one stormy evening, everything tested him again. The mother's car broke down miles away. Rain poured, thunder roared. She called him, her voice shaking. Jack hesitated. He was tired, overwhelmed. Tempted to let someone else handle it. But something in his heart said, "Go." He drove through the storm, found them stranded, and brought them home safely. When they arrived, soaked and shivering, the little boy hugged him tightly and whispered, "Thank you for not leaving." Those words, soft yet powerful, broke something open in Jack's heart. He realized he hadn't just saved them, they had saved him. The man who once wanted to walk away had finally found a reason to stay. From that day forward, Jack's life changed. He began each morning with gratitude, for the small things, for second chances, for the peace that comes from showing up. He no longer chased happiness in distant places or through empty goals. He found it in the laughter at the dinner table, in the warmth of shared prayers, in the calm of knowing he was where he was meant to be. And he understood now, faith isn't about having all the answers. It's about trusting the journey, even when it hurts. Inner peace isn't the absence of storms, it's learning to stand still in the rain, knowing God is with you. So if you are listening to this story and you feel like walking away, from your family, your dreams, or your faith, remember Jack. Remember that sometimes the smallest voice can carry the greatest truth. Don't let despair convince you that leaving is freedom. Real freedom is choosing to love, to stay, to believe when everything says give up. Because somewhere, someone might be whispering your name, hoping you'll turn back. And when you do, you'll find that you never really lost your way, you just needed to stop long enough to hear the call of your own soul. That's where peace lives. That's where healing begins. Thank you for watching Kind Tales. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe, and remember, no matter how far you've gone, it's never too late to come home.